Hey, good morning, PPNY. How are you? I'm Ryan O'Neill Williams, your Chief Marketing Officer, and with me today is my guest, Eric Abbey of the Keats Insurance Agency. Hey, Eric, how are you doing?
Good morning, Ryan. I am fine, and how are you?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. I'm really happy to get you on this thing. I wanted to talk to you about your experiences at PPNY, but then also a little bit about what you do at the Keats Insurance Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you right away, we were going to have this an hour earlier, and Eric calls me and says, Ryan, we have to postpone. And I was so impressed with how responsive he was because he was calling me from the site of one of his clients where they were having issue. You want to explain that to them, Eric?
Well, and unfortunately, and bad luck for the client, but good that they had insurance. This past weekend, they had a house fire,
Mhm.
a total house fire, a 4,000 plus square foot house,
Ooh,
totally burned every room. In fact, the garage, the 3 car attached garage, was no longer there. A car inside the garage exploded, during the fire and flipped over.
what?
A Maserati, you know,
Whoa!
and so today the fire investigation claims representative was coming to the house to take interviews and look around, and I just happened to know the guy when I heard who the name was, so I told the client if he did not mind, I would come and sit with them. The client is a senior citizen, so he was very happy to hear that I would be there. And I went and we sat and we talked. I listened to the interview they did. We looked around. I took 50 photos for my files, and and the process is moving forward. The carrier is doing the right thing and reaching out to the client and taking care of the client, and they're already set up for restoration people to come and fire marshals, and I know the carrier. Right before I left this morning, the inside claims rep who's handling this large loss, he was sending the insured $50,000 to
Wow.
basically basic expenses and to cover costs and everything, while if he needs to rent another house or an apartment or whatever, not just live in a hotel.
Cool.
So it's one of those moments. Insurance, yes, we all pay insurance, but you don't have insurance for the premium. You have insurance for the coverage, and this is the coverage moment. And this is
When this
what it's
actually
about.
happens, right? And you were right there on hand to make sure, take care of them, and make sure that they got all of the things that they needed.
Absolutely, and it'll be ongoing for probably a year.
Yeah.
By the time that house finally gets rebuilt, it's going to be with permits and everything. It's going to be a year of work. So it's a long-term thing.
I just appreciate that you got up, went there. You didn't have to do that, right? It was one of those things where you could have stayed on your phone and spoke to them afterwards or checked in with these guys. But I appreciate that you were actually on hands, got your hands dirty, went to the client, you know, basically, calm them down because they're used to you. They don't know all these other people, right?
Absolutely. And there were a few things with the client and his wife. I sat there while the client was talking to the investigator. I was talking to the wife, and she was taking notes about some little tidbits that they're not going to think. First of all, they're in shock. They're going to be in shock for weeks.
Absolutely.
But there are things that I gave them that please do X, please do Y. Use one particular. Take one of your credit cards, use it for all your expenses, so you have a log of what you're spending. Get a notebook, keep all your notes in one place, in one notebook, not on pieces of little paper and everything. Take everyone's name, take everyone's phone number. Just little things that keep going.
Take notes, people. Take notes. It's Eric Abbey,
Document.
insurance agent premier, actually explaining it to you. So how long have you been doing this?
I have been a licensed insurance agent since 1990.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a long time. Is
You
that
know what I was doing in 1990? You have no idea. I was still in high school in 1990.
Thanks.
But yeah, listen, it's not like he rubs his head and I've lost all my he rubs his head but no, it's the 1990s. You know, that's the amazing thing about nowadays, and like literally you can say it's been 20 years since 2000. It's been 22 years since 2000 if we're dating this video. But then on top of that, there was time before that as well, and you're like, oh wow, the world has changed so much. We were talking about that a little bit right before we got started.
Absolutely.
And how has it made it so that you've actually come into PPNY? Why PPNY? Why do you love this organization so much?
Coming to PPNY was easy. Somebody invited me.
Okay.
I always thank him. You know, they accepted me. How about that? Stayed in PPNY because I am coming up on my 5th anniversary is more about the people in PPNY. It's, you know what? It is a great group of ladies and gentlemen. We truly care how each of us and all of us work together. I never have a concern about giving a referral to anyone of my clients or anyone else of anyone from PPNY because I know those people are professionals. They will take care of the job, they will take care of the client, and they will do the right thing. And I hope I treat the referrals I get the same.
It's a constant line through this group. I mean, every interview I've had with you guys, every conversation I've had with you guys, it's the same thing. It's like we're all on the same page with it.
We all got the same note. Yeah.
We all got the same. Yeah. I sent it to you in an email. Make sure you said this before the interview. Everybody I speak to says the same thing. They trust the people who they're working with because they're professional, because they do what they're supposed to do, and they take care of their client. Because honestly, you know, clients talk, and you don't want them to not have a great thing to say about you and be able to refer you. So does business get referred to you from the system as well, from PPNY Network? How do you take those in, pass them around?
Well, you know, I always tell people, you know, I'm, you know, in a property timeline, you know, a sale, and I'm at the end. I'm really at the end of the line. I'm probably the last one. The insurance is usually the last guy in the door, you know, because you already found your property, found your attorney, found your mortgage, had the house checked out. Oh, I need insurance. Let me go call him. So I'm at the end of the line. You know what? I get my referrals from my fellow members and other places. I always speak to the clients. I never just take the information from the referral source and try to do a quote and hand it back to them. I need to speak to the client. Hopefully they want to speak to me. You know, it's not about me selling them anything. I'm not really selling anyone anything. I'm providing them with the resources to make the right choice. It's being a consultant. You know, my goal is to provide them future protection for their property losses and claims.
Yeah.
You know, it's a catchphrase for years was, you know, risk transfer, right? You know, instead of a homeowner person taking on the risk, if the house burns and they have to pay for the whole thing, they transfer that risk for a fee to the insurance company. And that's all we're doing. Prices, you know, no one wants to pay a lot of money. I don't want to pay a lot of money.
No.
But prices should never be the end all in the discussion. It has to be about getting the most value for your dollar. And depending on the risk at hand or the house or where it is or the family or the age, sometimes you got to pay a little more. And, you know, and that has to be, you know, it has to be in consideration. It just can't be get me the cheapest price because cheapest is cheapest.
Yeah, and it is what it is. That's when you don't have Eric Abbey necessarily being able to show up because you haven't paid the full premium. So if they're looking for life insurance, home insurance, what are all of the
So I do personal lines. I do homeowners, auto insurance, and all the assorted lines, the umbrellas and the inland marines for your jewelry and special items. I do life insurance, personal lines and commercial lines, for businesses or individual families. And I do commercial lines. I do, businesses and manufacturers and contractors for their commercial insurance, including workers' comp. Really, I do the whole spectrum of property and casualty, it's called, and life insurance. I will advise people and give them advice on health insurance. I do not write health insurance because I refuse to get tied down with life insurance. But I have no problem if I have a client. I have a few clients who call me every year about their federal health insurance, to walk them through their renewal, and I'll walk them through it. I have no problem with that. It's the relationship more than a sale, we just move forward. As long as they're comfortable talking to me, then I'll be comfortable talking to them.
Cool. What's the big thing that is changing in your agency, in your industry in general right now? It's 2022. We're supposed to be in some sort of recession. We're getting hit with a lot of so-called inflation. We're just coming out of a weird time because of the pandemic. What's different in insurance right now?
Well, everyone, you know what? Insurance is the same thing, especially if you're dealing with what's called a mutual company, where basically the policyholders own the company, not a stock company that has investors. But if you're dealing with a mutual company, you have to realize that that cost of everything, piece of lumber, car fender, the labor, both contractor and auto body guy, they all went up over the last year and a half. And that cost gets passed on. But, if it's a small additional cost in your policy, it's better than, a lot of times, even though almost every company has taken a rate increase, especially in auto insurance or home insurance, over the past 12 months.
Okay.
Filed non-negotiable rate increases.
Yeah.
So if you want to move companies, sure, but they had the rate increase too. So it's really, if you had a good price before and you like the carrier you're with, we could check other carriers, but it's, it's really, you're not going to go far. You just got to look inside the policy and see where we could save money.
I was just going to say, check your fine print, because the truth is, with inflation, what's been happening is, and I saw this was amazing. They did a little news thing on it, and they were explaining that some of the prices for many of the products that we purchase have stayed the same, but what they've done is reduce the size of the packaging. So
in manufacturing, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, insurance, we don't reduce it. Obviously, if using home insurance, which is the simplest thing, if your policy is always based on construction cost, not market value. What it costs, what's the wood and siding and shingling cost in your house, and if those items to buy from Home Depot have gone up 20%. The cost to rebuild your house has gone up 20%. And, if the house used to be $400,000, now it's $480,000. That's going to raise your price. There's no real way around it. Yes, you need to verify that they don't use the wrong information or they don't have misinformation. That's always a easy thing. You make sure discounts didn't fall off like alarm or multi-policy. Today, the biggest trend, for the past 15 years, one of the biggest marketing trends in the insurance industry was, to bundle. Everything should be bundled. You get better credit with bundling. And today, bundling may not be the best deal, because, where one carrier might have a good auto rate, they might have a very poor homeowner rate. It might be better to keep the auto with one carrier, the home with better. Just find the internal in an agency. I was telling people, instead of bundling through the carrier, you're bundling through the agency. I like one carrier for your auto, one carrier for home. It's just the best a la carte pricing on both. That's the biggest trend right now.
So is that one of the things that sets you apart, that you actually will shop around and find insurance rates and great insurance packages from different companies as an independent insurance person, as opposed to someone who's in a big, large company that's just going to sell you the policies that are in that company?
I mean, the biggest problem we have is most carriers, I don't say all, or most agents, they write you your policy, and until you call them, the client calls back, they never check it. It renews, the computer renews it, they just let it go. They're not paying attention. The Keats agency, we are very unique. And we're a large agency in multi-states. Every single client gets contacted once a year to review their policy. Initial contact would be by email or other electronic means, text or whatever. If a client is opt out of those, we do call. And anyone who replies saying, yes, I'd like to speak to somebody about it, they get an appointment, they get a call, they get reviewed. Most of the time, I go out of the way. If I know I have an appointment, I review it the day or 2 days before. I check all the other rates on the carriers, and I'll go to a client going, hey, this is your rate. Yeah, we could save you $100 here if you'd like to move. Same coverages or better coverages. We never lower coverages. And we everybody in the agency does that. I'm not unique in this agency doing that, but that comes from the top management down, and we do that consistently.
Nice. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gents. The question I always ask people is, from a marketing perspective, what makes you different from your competitors, and so that people would choose you other than and that you just answered the question. I didn't even have to ask it, right? Great. That's absolutely
what's different. You get me. I can't understand people who don't want me. It's just me. You know what? Our probably the doing what's right for the client always. Yeah. That is our mission statement. Okay. At the agency, and we will do that every day.
Yeah. When I went to your website, I think the thing I saw on there was that you specifically go out of your way to take care of your individual clients, as opposed to it just being, hey, here's my book of business. I'm trying to get to as many people as possible.
They're not clients; they are members.
Yeah. There you go. It's a different kind. I consider them, in my business, I refer to people as clients because I feel like those are people I am taking care of. I've got customers that just buy one-off things, but clients are really important to me, and I'm supposed to be guiding you to make sure you're taken care of. And so I feel like it's the same thing for you in very much way. So Eric, this is the new question. It wasn't on the sheet. It was not. What drives you? What drives Eric Abbey?
What drives me? A number of things drive me. I am and have always been a workaholic. I enjoy the work. I enjoy talking to people.
Yes.
I feel cheated when somebody just wants to call me and buy something. I want to know about them. I want to hear about them. I want to hear about their family. That and taking care of my own family, obviously. You know what? I've always said that if I do my job, my income is a no-brainer. Right. My income will come as long as I do my job. Yeah. So I don't press to do my job. I just do my job.
Cool. Very cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for paying attention. I want to thank Eric Abbey, my guest, for coming in today and talking to us about PPNY. Eric, any final last words, anything specific you want to tell people? I've got your information here. I'm putting that up on the screen. So if you do want to call Eric for specific information about insurance, you can do that. There's his phone number. There's his email on the screen. And if you are interested in PPNY and want to get his perspective on that, you could do that as well. Just check in with us or over on Facebook page or a Facebook group. Thank you so very much, Eric. If there's anything else,
You know what? My final thought is this: whoever you buy insurance from, make sure it's on your terms, that you like the person, you're comfortable with your purchasing, and you know you have been informed and educated of what you are buying, because that
excellent.
is the end.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, PPNY Network of Property Professionals of NY. We mean business. I'll talk to
Thank
you
you,
soon.
Ryan.
All right. Thank you.